There is a pasta dish so deeply embedded in Italian culinary tradition that chefs in its home region of Umbria have been making the exact same version for over 400 years, and almost nobody outside of Italy knows its name. Pasta alla Norcina is one of the most celebrated, most comforting, and most criminally underrated pasta dishes in the entire world, and today we are going to break it down completely. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to learn exactly where this dish comes from, why the town it is named after became the undisputed capital of Italian cured meats, what makes a true Norcina sauce completely different from anything you have probably tasted before, and the one ingredient substitution that completely destroys the dish, even though most recipe blogs enthusiastically recommend it. We are going deep on this one. Let us start with the origins. Norcia is a small mountain town in the southeastern corner of Umbria, a landlocked region sitting right in the heart of the Italian peninsula. The town has a population of fewer than 5,000 people, yet it has given its name to an entire profession. In Italian, the word Norcino does not just mean someone from Norcia. It means a skilled pork butcher and salumiere, a master of cured meats. That is how dominant Norcia became in the world of Italian charcuterie. For centuries, dating back to at least the medieval period, the butchers of Norcia traveled across Italy and even into other European countries during the winter months to practice their trade. They were so respected and so skilled that their profession became synonymous with their hometown. The climate of Norcia played a significant role in this legacy. Sitting at roughly 600 meters above sea level and surrounded by the Sibillini Mountains, the town experiences cold, dry winters that are absolutely ideal for curing pork. The pigs raised in this region, particularly those that forage on truffles and acorns in the surrounding forests, develop exceptional fat quality and flavor. This is the world that gave birth to pasta alla Norcina. The dish is essentially a love letter to the craft of the Norcino, built around fresh pork sausage, cream, white wine, and the signature addition of black truffle. It is rich, earthy, deeply savory, and extraordinarily satisfying. But here is what nobody talks about when they discuss this dish. Most versions you will find outside of Umbria completely miss the point by treating the sausage as a background player. In a true Norcina, the sausage is the entire story. The sausage used in this dish is not just any Italian sausage. Authentic Norcina calls for fresh sausage made specifically in the Norcino tradition, coarsely ground pork seasoned with black pepper, salt, and sometimes a whisper of nutmeg. There is no fennel. There is no chili. There is no garlic inside the sausage itself. The flavor profile is clean, porky, and black pepper forward. When you add fennel sausage or spicy Italian sausage to this recipe, which countless food blogs will tell you is perfectly fine, you fundamentally alter the character of the dish. The sauce becomes busy and confused instead of focused and harmonious. Now let us talk about how the sauce actually comes together, because the technique is more specific than most people realize. You start by removing the sausage from its casing and breaking it into rough, irregular pieces in a pan with a small amount of olive oil. You are not crumbling it into fine grounds. You want chunks, almost like small meatballs, pieces that are roughly the size of a large grape. This gives the sauce textural contrast and ensures every bite has a significant piece of meat rather than a uniform, indistinct mince. Those pieces get browned on the outside, building a crust and developing deep Maillard reaction flavors. Then you add white wine directly to the hot pan, scraping up every bit of the fond from the bottom. This deglazing step is non-negotiable. That fond is concentrated flavor, and the white wine lifts it entirely into the sauce. The wine cooks down until almost completely absorbed, leaving behind its acidity to balance what is coming next. What comes next is cream. And this is where the dish enters a level of richness that demands respect. You add a generous amount of heavy cream directly to the pan and allow it to reduce slowly with the sausage, absorbing all of those pork drippings and wine-enriched fond flavors. As the cream reduces, it thickens naturally and begins to coat every piece of sausage like a silky blanket. The color deepens from pure white to a pale, warm ivory. The aroma at this stage is almost unbearable in the best possible way. Now here is where the true soul of pasta alla Norcina makes its entrance. Black truffle. In Norcia and the surrounding Valnerina Valley, black truffles grow in extraordinary abundance. The Umbrian black truffle, Tuber melanosporum, is harvested primarily in winter and is considered one of the finest truffles in the world, rivaling even the famous Perigord truffle from France. In a traditional Norcina, freshly grated or finely chopped black truffle is stirred into the cream sauce just before the pasta is added. The heat of the sauce warms the truffle, releasing its volatile aromatic compounds, that unmistakable earthy, musky, almost intoxicating perfume that fills the entire kitchen. Here is the critical technique point that separates a transcendent Norcina from a merely good one. You never cook the truffle aggressively. You never add it early and let it simmer. Heat is the enemy of truffle aroma. The aromatic compounds that make truffles extraordinary begin to dissipate above roughly 70 degrees Celsius. You add the truffle at the very end, off the heat or on the lowest possible flame, and you serve immediately. Every second that dish sits before being eaten is a second of truffle aroma floating away into the universe instead of into your nose. The pasta choice also matters more than people acknowledge. Traditionally, pasta alla Norcina is made with rigatoni or penne rigate, specifically the ridged versions of these tube shapes. The ridges serve a mechanical purpose. They grip the cream sauce and hold it against the pasta surface as you lift it from the bowl to your mouth. Smooth pasta tubes are a false economy here. You end up with sauce at the bottom of the bowl and underdressed pasta in your mouth. Always ridged, always. When you combine the cooked pasta with the sauce, you should do it in the pan with a small amount of pasta cooking water. This starchy water is the secret binding agent of Italian pasta cookery. It emulsifies the cream with the fat released from the sausage, creating a sauce that clings and coheres rather than sliding off. Add it tablespoon by tablespoon until the sauce moves like liquid silk, coating everything but pooling nowhere. The finishing touch is grated pecorino romano. Not Parmigiano Reggiano. Pecorino. The sheep's milk character of pecorino has a sharpness and a slight gaminess that echoes the truffle and amplifies the savory depth of the sausage. Parmigiano is a more delicate, nutty cheese and it can work in a pinch, but it does not have the same resonance here. The Umbrian tradition favors pecorino, and once you try it this way you will understand exactly why. Now let us talk about why this dish deserves so much more international attention. Italian pasta culture has been largely dominated globally by Roman and Neapolitan traditions: carbonara, cacio e pepe, amatriciana, puttanesca, ragu bolognese. Umbrian cuisine, sometimes called the green heart of Italy, has remained stubbornly regional despite producing some of the country's finest ingredients. Part of this is geography. Umbria has no coastline and no major metropolitan center to export its culinary culture. Part of it is simply that Umbrian food is unapologetically simple and ingredient dependent, which makes it harder to replicate well outside of the region. But pasta alla Norcina is beginning to find its audience globally, particularly as black truffle becomes more accessible through preserved truffle products and as the quality of artisan sausage improves in international markets. Chefs in London, New York, and Tokyo are increasingly including variations of this dish on their menus, and food media has started to shine a well-deserved light on Umbrian cooking as a whole. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Flavor Vault for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.